Hey, welcome to TokuTalkers. Today we're talking GoZyuger episode 7. Get excited, come together, GoZyugers. Basically the start of the second arc of the show. And with my
Mhm.
co-host Wyatt, we're gonna Toku talk because I really enjoyed this episode. I thought this was a really interesting episode, especially like because this week was the technically the week that Go Ranger and by extension the entire Super Sentai franchise turned 50. This
Mhm.
is a very interesting episode to air on that 50th anniversary week, I'd say.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite episode so far, pretty easily, just because it was very funny for one.
Oh yeah.
I really like Rikuo and his. I'm glad we get to explore him more. He's not just like because he's had funny moments, but we haven't really like focused on him super hard in the past few episodes. It
Yeah.
follows the format that I like from the other Gozuger episodes of having like an unconventional contest be what is like the main part of body of the action of the episode. And then it also has like kind of some emotional parts and it has like a crazy twist at the end. It just has it all, you know? And it like utilizes the heroes and the villains all very well. Like they're all everybody's in like peak form in this episode, I feel. So yeah, I would say absolutely my favorite episode so far, but I'm excited to talk a little bit more in detail about it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of what you say. It has it all. It has like the character stuff. It has the meta Sentai stuff. It has like all sorts of like
Mhm.
cool action. You know, it's great. And I guess like on the meta Sentai stuff, Tyranno Ranger.
Mhm.
Let me check his name real quick.
Is
Meguru
yeah.
Meguru Osai, who's played by a Bokenger actor. I think Boken
Mhm.
Black was
Yeah.
the Bokenger he played, which is very fitting for a character like this because he is like a Sentai, like I think archaeologist. Did he say archaeologist or something along
Yeah,
those
yeah,
lines?
yeah. He's a like he was I think he actually literally said archaeologist because he had like a book and everything that had like the different Sentai and kind of the big his whole role in the episode is to be sort of a mentor to the Gozugers, or at least the three that he's talking to for the meat of the episode, the
Yeah,
red, yellow, and green.
and I do
Where
think like this probably was intentional because making Tyranno Ranger like Zyuranger, aka Mighty Morphin, the more
hmm
traditional like you
hmm
gotta like be a true Sentai team. Here's the fundamentals.
yeah,
That was very much intentional, and then having like get just going to the end of the episode, just him getting shot in the back, saying we don't do that here.
yeah,
Oh, that's a great statement. That's a great like little statement while still like being like, okay, you're still like you're giving like these guys like an inch of like, yeah, they can be a true Sentai team if they so choose. But right now the show
hmm
doesn't. It's not what the show chooses. So
yeah. It's like they have to work way harder than just like one friendship episode is not going to suddenly make them work together and be like a perfect team. Like there's going to be problems that will arise. And
yeah,
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 I think you're right that and we talked about before that Ranger is one of those shows where like the team is kind of boring, but they kind of act as like one unit. Like
uh
none of
huh,
the individual characters are super interesting, in my opinion. So it's like Tyranno Ranger ends up being like, oh, he's a pretty good proxy for that because like he's not like a super interesting character, even though this isn't like literally Tyranno Ranger from Ranger. However, I think Daijujin is Daijujin from Ranger because he's like God in that series. So like, and he talked like he had a voice like at the very beginning of the episode, separate from Tyranno Ranger. So I think like the implication is that it's like it's not just a voiceless robot or whatever that is being controlled. That it is like the Daijujin from Ranger. So he came down from heaven to help one
yeah.
more time.
Because it's like he uses the power like regain because like all the rings have little like civilian abilities and I guess like that's
Mm,
his power and I'm guessing the character who shot him in the back, which we'll get to, is gonna get
mm-hmm.
that power based on the preview of
Yeah.
like he can just summon like older Sentai abilities like in mechs
Mm,
at this point, which
cool.
gives us an excuse to do the Boom Booger thing of here's all the old mechs for the Universe Robo DX toy line. Um,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
which hopefully like I mean like I didn't mind it in Boom Booger, but I preferred like I didn't really I thought the mecha stuff was kind of half-assed, but like I thought the actual like when the character showed up in Boom Booger like a
Yeah.
Right or Gokai Blue, like
Mhm.
those were great moments. But like when the actual mecha stuff, it just kind of felt like status quo feeling. Okay, um,
Yeah. I mean, in mecha stuff in general, I've talked about how that's like
yeah, and
toys are
Sentai,
cool. It's most of the time it's really boring in Sentai for me. Sometimes it's like kind of interesting, but even here in this episode, I felt like, oh, it's cool to see uh what's his face, the Red Ranger
Goju
use his
Wolf.
robot for the first time. Yeah, Goju Wolf uses robot for the first time in a while because it's been used by the other characters in the past few episodes. But then I was like, okay, that's cool. Anyway, and then
Yeah,
I
they
was
kind
kind
of
of zoning
fast
out.
forwarded just to the finisher in this one.
Yeah.
It is like I did like I think the little character bits because they're adding like the villain like each new like unique personality in the villain mech that does help the
Hmm.
fights a lot. Where it's like you got these like this time we had like an announcer who was like announcing the competition of like the enchantment
Yeah, yeah.
competition. He was in the mech. It's like, oh
Tokimeki.
no, I'm in the mech. Oh, and it's like, and that was like
Yeah.
those was fun interactions, but the actual like fighting was just kind of on autopilot.
Yeah. And that's unfortunately true. That's even with the best Sentais in the world.
Yeah,
It's like,
you're gonna get autopilot fights with mechs. It's just it is what it
yeah.
is.
There will be good ones here and there, but for a lot of them are going to be kind of autopilot ones.
Yeah.
I will say that because the word Tokimeki ends up being used a lot because this is, the villain of the week is like
Charming.
yes, he's like a beautiful man that uses powers to charm people. And like, first of all, I love that. I just love that type of character. And it gave me big X-Aid vibes. I know I'm real, like guy who's seen his second show after X-Aid, uh, whatever. But
Yeah.
like
I
because of
mean,
Tokimeki
like the thing.
Crisis, obviously they're both referencing Tokimeki Memorial. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like that and like Lovelyka in that show uses like hypnotic love powers as well.
Yeah. And like they do reveal at the end of the episode, the reason the no one was able to take over the host was because of like Tokameki Memorial, a like
Yeah.
visual novel, which was really cute. It was like
Yeah, yeah.
like yeah, I like the charming competition. Again, we both really, I think we both really dig Rikio. So like him getting
Mhm.
just more moments to just be himself and like funny, was
Mhm.
great. And even just at the end where it's like we get that little emotional core of like impossible teases to his future. It's like especially
Mhm.
like very interesting to do it on like like with Sumino because we
Yeah.
kind of have like they have kind of like they don't know it yet, but they might have a rivalry going on with like the White
Yes.
Eyes and like possibly him getting framed for kidnapping her sister. But and they even
Yeah.
established in this episode, yes, Sumino can like read minds, but she can't read minds of the ring holders. So she has
Mhm.
literally no
Mhm.
idea to like how to find this information out until like
Yeah.
the plot demands it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And with that, I thought of that too, where like, he's talking about how like, oh, there's these rumors that forced me off the stage, these false rumors. I'm like, I wonder if that is related to the previous like tease that they did. Because like I said, I think it's going to be like a red herring. I don't think he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
That's I
kidnapper or
said
anything.
framed. Yeah, I think he's getting
Um,
framed for it.
Yeah, but I'm just curious what the whole scope of the situation is and like why they're like jerking us in these different directions because it's very interesting, right off the bat. And I
Yeah.
think that's good. That's like the dream. You want an episode that is really entertaining and fun and does has a bunch of like stupid jokes, but then like takes you off guard so that when it actually gets to something serious, you're like, oh shit, it like has a better impact on you. Um, like yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of like for me, Sentai is just really good at that, and because it is a little bit more lighthearted overall than something like Kamen Rider is. Um, it just ends up working so much in this episode because
Hmm.
like yeah, all the parts around it are so strong. Maybe I would say that the stuff with Tyranno Ranger and the other three warriors is a little bit weak. It's kind of like it feels very like obligatory, but I still enjoyed them making the omu rice.
Yeah.
Like it was still like a yeah, they're doing something. This is establishing that they need to be a team, and then the like main plot being Rico and Sumino, like them
Yeah, this
becoming a
episode is
team
a very
because
much have its cake and
yeah,
eat it too episode where
yeah,
it's like we got to do the anniversary quota, which I do enjoy the anniversary elements. I'm like I just because it's like I like the thematics it can bring to like a sense. Like I
mm-hmm,
don't
mm-hmm,
like I enjoy Zenkaiger not because oh I get to see all these like things I recognize. No, I enjoy Zenkaiger because I think
mm-hmm,
it like it's just a great culmination of Sentai, like all sorts of
mm-hmm,
Sentai tropes.
mm-hmm.
I've talked about like me. That's kind of my opinion with these Toku anniversary stuff, and like I do think the Tyranno Ranger stuff here did do that. It's just, but like I do kind of agree. It's like I would like something a bit more original. So it's like, you
Sure.
know, we have like both plots filling in both quotas. And I guess
Yeah.
speaking of original, we could talk about the new boy on the street who got
Yep.
teased at the end of this episode. Um,
The Ring Hunter.
the Ring Hunter Garudo. So he
Yeah.
was actually teased last week in a transformation lesson of all things. Uh,
Okay.
like I didn't bring this up because I was like, I'm not even sure. Like it wasn't even subtitled at this point, and by the time it got
Uh-huh.
subtitled, this episode came out, so we already saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically like at least from like design wise and like just general like role in the story. He's Biohunter Silver 2 from Bioman,
Mm-hmm.
which I finished that
Mm-hmm.
show. Bioman's great. Like just so
Yeah.
um I can't wait to talk about that eventually. But like okay anyway
Mm-hmm.
um so we don't really know much about him. They kind of did reveal a major twist regarding him if you read the preview text. So just don't
Okay.
read. Well, we're not gonna mention that. We're
Sure.
not gonna mention that because it's gonna be. But like, it is very cool to see. Like I always love the rival ranger in Sentais. Like I always like Stay Caesar, like Don Murasame, like
Yeah.
Oh
The
Kuwagata Oger. Just like
yeah.
those kinds of characters were basically like they're bonuses. They're not like part of the core team, but they're like a little bonus. So it's nice to have that.
Yeah, the like hunter character, like I'm a huge fan of that. The like, oh, this guy is like a trained assassin and he's like hardcore. He doesn't screw around like the
Yeah,
monsters or whatever. He's like on another level above. So it's like he's an overwhelming force compared to what they've been dealing with up until this point. Similar, not like the same in that he isn't like a ranger, but very similar is Scorpio and Q Ranger, where it's just like once he shows
yeah,
up, he's just like an overwhelming force as an assassin. So, and he's also cool as hell. So, and yeah,
yeah. I also just
this
love his
suit is
tattered
super
cape.
cool.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
tattered cape.
this is the hand, the Tegasword being like a gun is super
Yeah,
cool. The fact that he has like the asymmetrical helmet design with the one eye and then the gun in the other direction, just so cool.
yeah,
It's just very like I want a Sofubi of this guy on my
yeah.
shelf.
Yeah, get on the vinyl. Like I don't even think they announced the vinyl of him quite yet. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Hopefully soon. Cause I want to get some GoZyuger vinyls. Especially before the economy tanks. So
Yeah. Yeah.
uh anyway, I think that's all we got to say about episode 7.
Yeah,
Very
it was a good
excited
one.
for like this is a great opener to this like new month of episodes. Very excited. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and also I guess I mean this is just more of an aesthetic thing. I do like how they each like when they all transform into the dinosaur rangers, like all the Gozoogers like do the like legend change.
Mm-hmm.
They actually all fit their personalities. Like Kyoryu
Yeah.
Red party, like Green's trying to be a
Mm-hmm.
party animal.
Mm-hmm.
Kyoryugers do party like the little
Mm-hmm.
samba. That's good. And then Abure Red did like Ryugi. That just that
Yeah,
strong
yeah.
style, like the rage
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fits well. I don't know because I thought like when I saw the preview, I was like, well, like kind of like I mean I guess this is just a way to get all the dinosaur things, but like oh no, these actually like fit their personalities quite well. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the last
Yeah,
thing I
yeah.
wanted to say. Just great episode overall. Very good. I made a video about the first 6 episodes, which
Yeah.
I mainly made to promote this podcast. I'll be real. So
Yeah,
go check that out on
yeah.
my channel. Buster Corp. I guess I'm just gonna do the plug first, if you don't mind.
Go
Like,
ahead. Yeah.
yeah, then we can end with your plug. Yeah, I Buster Corp YouTube channel, and I'm also on Bluesky, rambling about whatever. Lots of fun videos incoming, so stay tuned. Also, just make sure to subscribe to this podcast channel because we do a lot of fun things here. Wyatt, plug your stuff.
All right. Well, you can find me on Blue Sky at Wasp Ranger, WAZB Ranger. Mostly post stream of consciousness stuff, but I do post about podcasts and videos that I'm making. I just made a new video for the first time in a long time. It's on the Patreon right now, but it'll be up on YouTube for free on Wednesday. It's about cartoon Primos. So whether you like that show or not, check the video out. I'm sure I have some thoughts that you want to hear. And if you want to, my main squeeze is Cartoon Buffoons. You get that a week early if you're on the Patreon. $3. Good time. Check it out. Buster, you haven't been on an episode yet, but you will be at some point.
Yeah,
So
something
they'll
animated, something
yeah.
transformative. Dare I say? I don't know. We'll see. Uh,
But yeah, so we have Cartoon Buffoons. Check that out. It's a good time. Also, if you only got $1, that's okay too. Wow, Cool Robot. We review every single robot in existence. We haven't uploaded episodes in a while, but I'm gonna start doing that this week because I got a bunch to upload still. So get on that. It's a good time. Anyway, that'll do it.
yeah, that'll do it for this exciting episode of GoZyuger. TokuTalkers. No, GoZyuger is the show we
Yeah,
talk about. This was TokuTalk. You get what I mean. Anyway, see you
yeah.
next week for episode 8.